Very good morning, students. Myself BK Singh, your chemistry teacher from Oriental Public School, Kishanganj. Dear students, today we'll discuss the new chapter, that is second chapter, and the name of the chapter that is matter around us pure. So students, the word pure actually it is for an ordinary or common person. It is free from adulteration. Adulteration, that is milawat. That means free from any undesirable impurities which are added either purposely or get mixed with it of their own. For example, if you go to a shop of a general merchant and ask for some cooking oil or ghee, he will show you various variety. On each packet or bottle, you can find the label pure and free from contamination. In the same way, if we discuss the pure milk, to, for a common person, it means if there is no addition of water in the milk, then it is pure for them. And in the same way, sometimes we used to go to doctor and doctor suggests that walk in the morning uh, as to breathe in the pure air. So actually, air is pure for the scientist. No, it is not pure. Then what is pure? So actually, we can say all the substances has been classified into mainly into two types, and these are pure substances and mixture. The pure substance and mixture has been classified on the basis of chemical composition of matter. On the basis of physical state, matter is classified into mainly three types. They are solid, liquid, and gases. Students, in this chapter, we are going to discuss mainly the types of matter on the basis of chemical composition of matter. And as we have discussed here, the matter has been classified into two groups, mainly that is pure substance and mixture. And students, pure substance further has been classified into two groups, and these are elements and compound. And also further also, student, we can say that element has been further categorized into metal, non-metal, and metalloids. And uh, that is now on the other side, that is mixture further has been categorized into two types, and these are homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. And further, homogeneous we can say it as true solution, and heterogeneous has been categorized into two types, and these are colloids and suspensions. So all these things we'll discuss one by one in detail. First of all, we'll define pure substances. Students, a pure substance means a single substance or matter which cannot be separated into other kinds of matter by any physical process. And uh, physical pure substance actually further has been divided into or categorized into two types. These are elements and compound. Students, we have learned that pure substances are single in nature, and presence of any other substance make them impure. So these substances have been classified into two types, and these are elements and compounds. So now first we'll discuss elements. The word element was introduced for the first time by Lavoisier, and according to Lavoisier, an element is the simplest or basic form of a pure substance which cannot be broken into anything simpler than it by physical or chemical methods. But the later studies by Dalton have shown that the simplest form of matter is atom. In a correct way, we can define element as the pure substance which is made up of one kind of atoms only. And the common example of elements are hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, copper, silver, gold, etc. Although nearly 118 elements are known, out of the known elements, only 92 have been found to be present in nature. The rest have been synthesized by the scientists in the laboratory, and these are also known as man-made element or synthetic element. And on the basis of physical state, the elements have been classified as solid, liquid, and gases. And now we'll discuss the types of element based on characteristics. The students, that is, the element have been classified into three types, and these are metal, non-metals, and metalloids. So metals, students, we have already mentioned that about 92 elements have been found to be present in nature. That is, these are naturally occurring, and out of these, nearly 70 elements belong to the particular class known as metal. So in the metal, the atoms are very closely packed together and have a special type of bonds known as metallic bonds, and because of very tight or close packing, the metals are quite hard. Now students will discuss the characteristics, important characteristics of metal. Number one, metal are solid at room temperature, but there is one exception, and that is mercury. Mercury is liquid at room temperature. Next is second, in a metal, the constituents or atoms are very closely packed in space. The close packed arrangement is known as crystal lattice. Third, metals have shining surface. They have generally silver or gray or golden yellow surface, and this property is known as lustre. And fourth strain, metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. That is why metals utensils are used for cooking, and wire drawn from the some metals like copper and aluminum are used to conduct electric current. Fifth property is metals are generally quite hard, and here exceptions are sodium and potassium, which are very soft. Sixth property, metals are malleable in nature. Malleable, it means that they can be beaten to form very fine thin sheets. For example, fine aluminum foils are used for wrapping different types of food. And seventh property is metals are ductile in nature, means uh, that very fine and thin wire can be drawn from the metals. For example, all electric wires drawn from different metals are very fine. Eighth property, metals are sonorous, which means that when they are bent or hit, they produce a tinkling sound. Next property, and the last, metals have generally high melting and boiling points. Hello students, this is the second part of today's video, and students, we were discussing metals. So among the metals, aluminum is the most abundant in earth's crust. Iron, calcium, and sodium are the other metals which follow aluminum in order of decreasing abundance. And apart from earth, there are also other sources from where metals can be obtained. For example, magnesium is present in chlorophyll. Iron is constituent of hemoglobin, whereas zinc is found to be present in traces in the eyes of certain animals. Now students will discuss nonmetals, the second type of element, nonmetal. Nonmetal students, as the name suggests, are opposite to the metals, which means that their properties are quite different from the metals and they are comparatively less in number. Only about 14 to 15 elements are nonmetals. The important now we'll discuss the important properties of nonmetals, and the first property of nonmetal, students, is nonmetals are either gases or solid at room temperature. There is one exception, that is bromine is a liquid at room temperature. Second property is nonmetals vary in color. Solids have generally dull surfaces. Exception is crystals of iodine have bright luster. Property number 3, nonmetals are mostly poor conductors of heat and electricity, and their exception is graphite, which is a good conductor of electricity. And fourth property, the most of the nonmetals are quite soft and have less density than metals. But here is also exception, that is diamond, which is very hard. Actually, it is probably the hardest substance known. And fifth property, non-metals are non-malleable and non-ductile in nature. That means they cannot be beaten into a thin sheet nor can be drawn into a thin wire. Next property is strength, sixth, that is non-metals are also not sonorous in nature. That means if it will be heated or bent, will not produce tinkling sound. Last property, that is as compared to metal, the non-metals have very low melting and boiling points. And after this, students, some example of non-metals are nitrogen, oxygen, chlorine, bromine, iodine, phosphorus, sulfur, etc. Now students will discuss semi-metals. So there are a few elements which possess the characteristics of both metals and non-metals, and these are actually borderline elements and are known as semi-metals, and these are also said as metalloids. A few common examples are silicon, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. So these are the semi-metals. So friends, thank you for watching this video, and in our next video we'll discuss the compounds or chemical compounds. Okay, thank you friends. Stay home, stay safe.